Hello everybody, this is Zoe from No Safer Place, and today I am back with one of my Worth the Hype videos. Now if you're not familiar with these, I take a book that is being spoken about all over social media and tell you if I think that it is worthy of the hype surrounding it. Today I'm talking about one of the most hyped books of 2019 and one of the most famous YA authors at the moment. Of course, it is On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. Now, I was lucky enough to be sent a proof of this book. I really didn't think I would get one at all. So when this came through the door, I was so freaking excited. Now, I'll be honest, Angie's first book, The Hate U Give, I thought the idea was incredible, the plot was fantastic, but I wasn't really that much of a fan of the writing itself. When the film came out, I watched it and I absolutely adored it. It is one of my favourite films of all time. So I went in to this book a little bit skeptical, but really excited because I had read the synopsis and really liked the idea of it. So I went into this one with an open mind and keep watching this video to find out if I thought it was worthy of the hype. So On the Come Up focuses on a 16-year-old Brie, and she dreams of becoming a rapper. Brie is black and lives in a pretty rough area. Now, I don't know why we still feel the need to say, oh, this main character is black, because we would never say that about a white character, but I feel like there are so many books that don't have any representation in them, let alone good representation. So with someone like Angie Thomas, who is literally incredible with representation, and this book is, and not just race representation, I'll get on to more of that later, but honestly, she includes so much in this book. She talks about so many important issues without undermining any of them, and that is just a talent that I wish I possessed, and I wish that more authors possess, because we need more women like Angie Thomas in our world. That was a little rant there, back to the plot. So Brie lives in a really rough area with her brother Trey and her mum Jay. Her mum is a recovering drug addict, and Trey, her older brother, is a college graduate. He's very clever, and I guess we see him as a little bit of a goody two-shoes if I had to label him. Now Trey and Jay both work tirelessly to make ends meet, and that is a main focal point of this story. Obviously it is following Brie on her journey to becoming a rapper, but a lot of it is mainly about surviving and getting through to the end of the week with enough food and enough money to pay for bills and rent. And as someone that has been in that situation where you don't know if you're going to make ends meet and you're not sure if you're going to be able to pay the next bill, I thought the representation for that was absolutely fantastic, spot on. Now, wherever Brie goes, she is stereotyped. So in school, she is stereotyped as a hoodlum. She goes to this place to rap and they see her there as the sassy black girl. And she is tired of it. She is tired of the labels that people keep putting on her without her permission. So she decides to release a song called On the Come Up about all these stereotypes that she is met with every day. And before she knows it, the lyrics are being twisted and used against her, and the song hits viral status for all the wrong reasons. And because of the situation her family is in, she feels like she needs to take this opportunity, no matter how the song became famous, to make things right for her family and to provide for them, even if that means maybe sacrificing herself. Now that is all I will say on the plot, because I feel like you need to explore Brie's story yourself. I don't want to go into too much detail about it, but she is a really likable character, really easy to connect with, and written so well. That's definitely something I want to talk about. I feel like Angie's writing is so much better in this book. I don't know if it's because The Hate U Give wasn't really my style of writing and this one is more suited to me, but I found this one so much easier to read, so much more fast-paced, and I just really enjoyed the writing style. There is so much more to the plot. I mean, I just described it, but I feel like I've missed out so much because it's so intricate and there are so many more finer details. But as I say, I don't want to make this too spoilery. As I mentioned earlier, there are so many important topics tackled in this book. I don't even think I could name them all. I jotted a few down when I was doing notes for this video and I still feel like I've missed some. Drug addiction, gangs, racism, prejudice, crime, poverty, LGBTQ+. While we're talking about LGBTQ+, there is a tiny little mention of what I think is supposed to be Love, Simon by Becky Albertalli, and I'm not sure if I've just taken that and made it into something I want, but there's a mention of a love story between two guys emailing each other that came out in a book recently, so I was like, that's definitely a Becky Albertalli reference, right? I loved that. And all of the issues are done in a way which feels authentic and organic. It actually adds things to the story rather than feeling forced, and it's just been put there for the sake of representation because books nowadays feel like they need it. It definitely doesn't feel like that at all. Everything about it is so genuine. Now, I sometimes struggle with secondary characters in books because I never really feel connection to characters apart from the main characters, and that was not the case with this book at all. Malik, Sunny, Curtis, Aunt Pooh, even the grandparents, they all have huge roles to play in Bree's story, all whilst carrying stories of their own. We're given enough of a backstory to them that we understand the choices that they make and the positions that they're in. I found really interesting because at the end of the book, you don't just feel like you know Bree, you feel like you know all these other characters too. I mean, most of the time when I read books, if you asked me to name a list of, say, 5 characters that weren't main, I'd be like, but with this I can do it easily because I felt a connection to each and every one of them in some way, shape or form. Another thing worth mentioning is the rap lyrics in this. I'm assuming Angie wrote these herself, and I was just like blown away by how good they were. There are several songs and rap verses throughout the book which I absolutely loved. I think it was such a clever thing to add to the book to really get you an idea of Bree's rap style and the way she freestyles. I'll be honest, I don't really know what I'm talking about when I talk about rap because apart from maybe Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, that's about as far as my rap knowledge goes. But this book definitely educates you in some way about rap as well, which I thought was really interesting and something I didn't know I needed. As I say, Bree is such a fierce, headstrong, determined character, and her fighting for her dreams and fighting for what she believes in is just tear-jerking, heartbreaking, just absolutely bloody brilliant. And I'd say this storyline is just as powerful as The Hate U Give. I don't mean to compare them both, but I think when you've had such a fantastic book like The Hate U Give, the book after that is always the scary one, and this one is just as powerful and the story is just as magnificent. As I say, I am completely blown away by this book. It is one of the best books I've ever read. As always, Angie's work just educates you as you go, which is my favourite kind of reading. You don't just read to escape, but reading to learn as well, and Angie does this flawlessly. So thank you to Walker Books for sending me this book. I absolutely adored it. I cannot wait to see what Angie does next. I know that she has a UK tour coming up. I really want to go to the March event in London, but I'm already going to an event that day and I'm pretty much heartbroken about that. But make sure you pick up this book. It comes out the 7th of February and I would highly recommend it. It is most definitely worthy of the hype. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. Let me know what you would like to see more of on my channel, and I hope to see you all again soon. Thank you. Bye. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please go and hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell if you would like to know when I make new videos. Normal uploads are Tuesdays and Saturdays.